Hi everyone and welcome back to Learn Everyday English. I'm Amy, your host, and today I want to share a very personal story, one that's close to my heart. It's about someone I admire deeply, not because she's famous or rich, but because of her strength and determination. If you've ever felt stuck while learning English or like you're the only one struggling, you're not alone. This story is here to remind you that progress is possible, even when it feels slow. So grab a cup of tea, get comfortable, and let me tell you about the person who inspired me the most on my language journey. If you ask me who I admire most in my life, especially when it comes to learning English and staying motivated, my answer is my cousin Anna. She's not famous. She's not a teacher or a celebrity, but she taught me more about hard work, patience, and the power of never giving up than anyone else. Her story gave me a reason to believe in myself, even when learning English felt impossible. I still remember the day she left our hometown. I was just a child standing with the rest of the family at the bus station, waving goodbye. Anna was only 18 then. She had packed her whole life into 2 suitcases and was moving to another country to study and work. She didn't speak much English, just a few basic phrases. I didn't understand why she wanted to leave everything behind. Later, I realized she was chasing something better. She had a dream, and that dream needed English. In the beginning, things were really hard for her. She told me once that during her first week abroad, she walked into a small cafe to buy breakfast. When the cashier asked her a simple question, "For here or to go?" she panicked. She had no idea what it meant. She just smiled awkwardly and said, "Yes." Cashier looked confused, and Anna left the cafe without ordering anything. She went home and cried. That story stayed with me because I've had moments like that too, where I feel embarrassed or lost when I don't understand someone speaking English. But unlike me, Anna didn't give up. Instead of avoiding English, she started surrounding herself with it. Every day, she watched cartoons like Peppa Pig or Dora the Explorer, shows made for kids but perfect for building vocabulary. She kept the subtitles on. She paused, rewound, and repeated the lines until she understood. She bought a second-hand English dictionary and used it constantly. She wrote new words in a notebook, practiced sentences in front of a mirror, and recorded herself speaking. She even practiced with YouTube videos and tried to repeat every sentence exactly like the speaker. It was awkward, she said, but it helped her a lot. At night, when she felt lonely or homesick, she listened to English music, slow songs where she could hear every word. Sometimes she didn't understand the lyrics, so she would print them out and look up the meaning of every line. She told me that her first favorite English song was "Count on Me" by Bruno Mars. She memorized the lyrics because it made her feel less alone. One day, someone at her job heard her singing it softly and said, "You sound great!" That was the first time she felt confident using English in front of someone else. Anna's life didn't suddenly become easy. There were many days she wanted to give up. She failed job interviews because of her accent or because she couldn't understand fast speech. She made grammar mistakes when writing emails. She got laughed at by people who didn't understand how hard it was to learn a new language. But she didn't let that stop her. Instead, she worked harder. She enrolled in evening classes, joined English conversation meetups, and even volunteered to help other newcomers like herself, people who were struggling just like she had. Over time, something amazing happened. Her vocabulary grew. Her listening improved. She started writing journal entries in English and even reading simple novels. The girl who once couldn't answer for here or to go was now writing cover letters, giving presentations, and leading team discussions in English. I couldn't believe it. When I visited her 2 years later, she gave me a tour of her city, all in English. She even helped translate for another tourist who was lost on the street. I stood there watching her, amazed. This was the same person who once cried after walking out of a cafe. So why do I admire her? 'Cause she never had it easy, but she kept going. She taught me that English is not about being perfect. It's about being brave. It's about trying, failing, trying again, and not being afraid of how you sound or how many mistakes you make. She reminded me that consistency is more important than talent. You don't need to study for 5 hours a day. Even 10 minutes, done every day with focus and heart, can change your life. When I struggle with English, I think of her. I think of her standing in front of the mirror, repeating simple sentences to herself. I think of her correcting her own pronunciation over and over. I remember how she didn't just learn English to pass a test. She learned it to connect with people, to create a better life, and to open new doors. And she did all that without giving up, even when it was lonely and hard. Now, whenever I feel discouraged, I open my notebook and study just like she did. I listen to English songs and repeat the lyrics. I write down new words and practice out loud. I still make mistakes, but now I know that's part of the journey. I don't need to be perfect. I just need to keep going. 'Cause of Anna, I believe in progress. I believe that if I keep working, one day I'll speak English fluently too. And maybe, just maybe, I'll inspire someone else the way she inspired me. Thanks for listening. I hope this story gave you some encouragement and reminded you that learning English takes time, effort, and heart, but it's always worth it. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment to tell me about your English story or someone you admire. Keep practicing, keep showing up, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care and keep learning every day.